Huh?
What's going on, freakazoids? How's it going? Hey, can I show your bass photos? Or your photo, Wild Bill? You got 5th place in that. You got like 100 boats, right? I mean, there's a shitload, 100 something. That's pretty good. Let's see. Can I play your... Okay, good. Okay. All right, here we go. Here's Wild Bill's... you got 3rd today, right? Something like that. There it is, man. Look, that's a pretty big one right there. I think that one's 5 pounds, he said, and this one's 4 or something. Wild Bill Wassman. Yeah, all these people over here are just going, shit, I didn't catch a damn thing. All right, well, there you go. Good stuff. Okay, see you later, Bart Madness. Hi, this is the same time my show is every single day. Go complain somewhere else. I know what it was. I had to make something up. Looked like they were all just waiting around for something. They weren't even looking. It was a joke. All right. Well, anyways, there's a bunch of new information coming out, and the the shooting that happened last night that we were covering last night at the I guess it's the correspondent dinner, White House correspondent dinner, and the Cole Allen. So I got a whole bunch of different articles and whatnot we can put together. Plus I think I have the copy of the manifesto. It's not really long. It's like 2 pages, something like that. Let's see. Yeah, and then the Blazers play today. Man, they just... You know what's weird is like the 2 playoff games we had at home, we were at 15, and then we lost by 10 in game 3. Then today we're at 19 points after being down 7. We got up by 19 and then into the half up 17. And then within 4 minutes of the 3rd quarter, they already had it like within 2. We just absolutely sucked. Outscored by 40 points in the 2nd half. I mean, just absolutely insane. It's embarrassing, really, to play so well and then to play so bad with nobody changing anything. They didn't change anything. Should we start off with the manifesto? And by the way, you guys, this is another night. We're getting close to our donation night. So if you could please help support the channel, I would appreciate it. We are currently on the 26th. We've only got the 27th, 28th, and 29th as normal days. And then we have our final night. And we're sitting here at 0 yet again, like every single night. It doesn't seem like people want to start the show off where we're already kind of humming along. So if you guys could do that, that would be awesome. And if you look at the upper left-hand corner, this channel's donated $293,112 since January of 2020. And we're already at, I think, like 13,000 this year so far. And that comes out of the income from the channel, from all the different sources that come in, etc. Thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. I don't know. What's the breakthrough in Nancy Guthrie's situation? Go ahead. What is it? I looked it up. I didn't see any breakthroughs. If there's a breakthrough, we can go over that after we go over this stuff. Hey, thanks, Cheryl Bullock. All right, here we go. This is the manifesto. It says, so I may have given a lot of people a surprise today. Let me start off by apologizing. I mean, I think this guy is sort of like Elliot Rodger. Yeah, just total. I mean, the way he is. So I may have given a lot of people a surprise today. Let me start off by apologizing to everyone whose trust I have abused. I apologize to my parents for saying I had an interview without specifying it was for Most Wanted. I apologize to my colleagues and students for saying I had a personal emergency. By the time anyone reads this, I probably, most certainly, do need to get to the ER, but can hardly call that not a self-inflicted status, whatever the hell that means. But can hardly call that not a self-inflicted status. I apologize to all the people I traveled next to, all the workers who handled my luggage, and all the other non-targeted people at the hotel who I put in danger simply by being near. I apologize to everyone who was abused and or murdered before this, to all those who suffered before I was able to attempt this. Who are you talking about? To all who may still suffer after, regardless of my success or failure. Who are the people that have suffered? See, this is what I'm saying. This guy is one of the people that listen to the likes of, I forgot, hell, I can't even remember his freaking name at this point. The governor of Minnesota. I mean, he's just an absolute pile of crap. You know, he probably believes, Tim Walz, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. Probably listens to somebody like that. I don't expect forgiveness, but if I could have seen any other way to get this close, I would have taken it. Again, my sincere apologies. Let's see. On to why I did any of this. I am a citizen of the United States of America. Right. And this guy right here is so classic, exactly what we were talking about when somebody took out Charlie Kirk. The same mentality. These people. See, here's what I always piss off the Democrats or liberals in here when I tell you this. But it's your rhetoric, the comments that people make that say stuff like, oh, he's worse than Hitler. He's a fascist. He's trying to do this. He's trying to do that. And there's people who believe it because they're stupid. Okay? None of that stuff's true. It's just unbelievable. If I thought it was true, I'd be all in cahoots. I'd believe in what you're saying. And yet I still wouldn't do anything that he did. All right? But there's people out there that are sick. And they believe those kind of comments. And that's who this guy is right here. He's one of those people. All right? And every night, every time I say this shit, I lose like 30 subs or whatever. But I don't care. You know, if I lose you as a sub for telling you the truth, then that means there's something wrong with you. Okay? I'm telling you the truth. This guy right here, had the media not been saying all the stuff that it says over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, he wouldn't even have had it in his mind. But he does, because they keep saying, like Jeffries, it's just disgusting, man. It's unbelievable. Hey, thank you, Gloria Batari and Laura's Weehart. Laura's Weehart? Is that it? I don't know. I'm not watching anymore, Gray. That's not cool. What about the time when... Ah, Jesus. Here we go. The whataboutisms. All right. While I'm discussing this, I'll also go over my expected rules of engagement. Probably in a terrible format, but I'm not military, so too bad. Administration officials, not including Mr. Patel, for some reason, he didn't want Patel as part of his targets. They are targets prioritized from highest ranking to lowest. Secret Service, they are targets only if necessary and to be incapacitated non-lethally if possible, aka, I hope they're wearing body armor because center mass with gunshot messes up people who aren't wearing body armor. Hotel security, not targets of it at all possible. Not targets if at all possible. AKA unless they shoot at me. Capitol Police, same as hotel security. So he's trying to make a reference to January 6th, those Capitol Police and, National Guard, same as hotel security. Hotel employees, not targets at all. Guests, not targets at all. In order to minimize casualties, I will also be using buckshot rather than slugs, less penetration through walls. I would still go through most everyone here. I would still go through most everyone here to get to the targets if it were absolutely necessary, on the basis that most people chose to attend a speech by a pedophile, rapist, and traitor. See how stupid these people are? A pedophile, rapist, and traitor. Now you go, well, what about that civil suit? Oh my God, man. That same lady sued somebody else the next... It was just... The climate, whatever Trump gets in, the courts that they bring him in on, the people living in those areas always hate him, so they're going to vote, when they... Not vote... They're going to find him guilty no matter what happens, because he always gets brought up on charges in New York or some other place that's, it's just crazy, man. These people are freaking nuts. If it were absolutely necessary, on the basis that most people chose to attend a speech by a pedophile, rapist, and traitor, and are thus complicit. But I really hope it doesn't come to that. Now, I don't know if there's more to it. Have you guys ever seen any more pages? Because that's all I have here. I don't see any kind of signature or anything. There's people out there that literally believe, by the way, that Trump somehow organized and had this done so that he could get the ballroom built. Yeah, because he mentioned it. He goes, hey, well, that's exactly why we need the ballroom, because it's way more protected than someplace outside like this. I mean, this is a hotel where other people stay in. Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's always a conspiracy. It never ends. Just keeps on going and going and going. All right, you guys, we're currently at 1/20th of a nightly goal, so if you guys could help support the channel, we have only 2 memberships and $6.99. That's $16.99. That's 1/30th of the nightly goal. So if you guys could help support the channel, I would appreciate it. All right, let's just do some of these. Wow. This is the colon, what we know about suspected gunmen at the Trump dinner. The suspect who stormed through a security checkpoint and shot a Secret Service agent at the White House Correspondents' Dinner in Washington, D.C. was armed with multiple weapons and knives, police say. This is from today. Well, how come it says the 27th? Oh, that's in the UK. The suspect who stormed through a security checkpoint and shot a Secret Service agent at the White House correspondent dinner in Washington, D.C. was armed with multiple weapons. Donald Trump, First Lady Melania, and senior officials were quickly evacuated to safety from the annual event after several gunshots were heard outside the Washington Hilton Hotel ballroom, where around 2,500 people were in attendance. The suspect has been identified by U.S. authorities as 31-year-old Cole Allen from Torrance, about 15 miles southwest of downtown Los Angeles. Police have said the suspect was armed with a shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives. Officials have said he has no criminal record and was not on the radar of law enforcement. Yes, that's what I told you guys. I didn't have any records from a criminal record in that. Been verified. He is set to be arraigned on Monday in federal court and was set to be transported on Sunday to a detention facility in southeast Washington, D.C. Jeffrey Carroll, interim chief of police for the Metropolitan Police Department, said the suspect was involved in an altercation as he tried to get into the event. Altercation. The suspect exchanged shots with an officer who was struck but was unharmed because he was wearing a bulletproof vest. He was tackled to the ground and handcuffed by law enforcement before being apprehended. He was tackled to the ground and handcuffed by law enforcement before being apprehended. What? Who the hell wrote that? What does that even mean? He was tackled to the ground and handcuffed by law enforcement before being apprehended. I mean, you mean arrested, right? Or something. I don't know what that means. I'm sure he's apprehended when you're putting handcuffs on the ground. You tackled him, you put the handcuffs on him, he's already apprehended, isn't he? Officials believe Allen was acting alone, but while his motive is unclear, Todd Blanche, acting U.S. Attorney General, said the suspect appeared to be targeting Trump's administration officials, likely including the president. Speaking to Sky News, U.S. partner network NBC News, he added that he does not believe that the suspect is cooperating with the investigation. Okay, it says, Mr. Blanche added that the suspect traveled by train from Los Angeles to Chicago onto Washington, D.C. before checking into the hotel where the dinner was held. Now, that's probably how he got his guns there. You know, on a train, they don't have those, scanning devices and whatnot. Like when you take a plane, they always check for those kind of things. But hey, guys, I mentioned it a minute ago, we're still stuck at numbers here on the screen. So if you guys could please help support the channel. The channel relies on the people watching the show to fund it, basically, and keep everything moving forward because, the end of the month is coming up here. And my channel survives based on you guys watching. There is no ad revenue. Like yesterday's show was minimized ads because of the topic. This will be the same thing. So the only way we're going to make it is if you guys are helping support the channel. Could you guys please do that tonight so we can try to reach a goal? Because after I mentioned it a minute ago, absolutely zero came in here. So if you guys have the ability, that would be fantastic. We currently, I think we're over 13. We're at 13,000 this year so far, given out at the end of the month. It's just crazy. It's like every show. I never have a show where I don't have to ask, It's like I do these, forget it. It's just frustrating. Mr. Blanche added that the suspect traveled by train from Los Angeles to Chicago and then on to Washington, D.C. before checking into the hotel where the dinner was held. Hey, thanks, Stephen. The suspect's background. Now, Sky News has verified Cole Allen's LinkedIn profile in which he described himself as a mechanical engineer and computer scientist by degree, independent game developer by experience, teacher by birth. What? But he's not really a game developer. According to his profile, he secured a bachelor's degree in 2017 in mechanical engineering from California Institute of Technology in Pasadena and a master's degree in computer science from California State University, Dominguez Hills. It also says he was a summer undergraduate research fellowship student in 2014 at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, where he says I wonder if they would have added him to the list if they had taken him out. After the shooting, let's say they killed him. Would he be number 12 on the list of, these scientists that were killed? What are you talking about, Karen? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Karen? Nobody knows what you're saying. That's supposed to be him in the pic? Looks nothing like the other pic. What are you talking about right now? What are you referring to? This picture right here looks exactly like him. Let's see. He also says he was a summer undergraduate research fellowship student in 2014 at NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, where he says he updated the modeling capability for planets around several previous excluded stars. Yeah, that's just not him. It has nothing to do with him here. These are people on the ground. Why are you telling... Come on, Karen, focus on what's going on here. This is just one of the people on the ground during the shooting. Does that look like him either? I can keep scrolling up here. That's him. Yep. I'm pretty sure that this guy here is not him, nor this guy, nor this guy. Okay, and then we come down. Well, that guy probably isn't him either, because looks like he's laying on the ground there. And this guy, yep, that's him right there. I mean, I can play it. Here we go.
I'm on the board. So there seems to be some sort of a shooting.
Yeah, that's definitely not him right there.
Certainly.
Wow. All right, let's see. Alan's online resume suggests he has worked for the last 6 years at C2 Education, a company which helps aspiring college students. In December 2024, C2 Education said he was Teacher of the Month, posting their congratulations to him on LinkedIn with hashtags, including hashtag dedicated teachers and hashtag inspiring educators. One of his LinkedIn posts also said he was working to develop a new top-down shooter combat game set in outer space. Whatever the hell that means. Top down. Oh, they're looking from above. I get it. Lone wolf whack job. Speaking at a news conference after the incident, President Trump said he may have been the suspected gunman's target. That he may have been. Earlier, Mr. Trump uploaded a photo to his Truth Social platform claiming to show the alleged gunman being apprehended. Well, it's not when you say claiming, that is what it is. He described the suspect as a lone wolf whack job from California. He is. Anything inaccurate there? Asked if he knew about the suspected gunman, Mr. Trump responded that Allen has got some big problems. It's a very bad situation after reading writings he made to his family. His family knew he had difficulty, Mr. Trump said. You still there, Karen? Did you see what I'm talking about? You sort of interrupted the show for that. His family knew he had difficulty, Mr. Trump said. The New York Post reports that Allen sent anti-Trump writings to his family members 10 minutes before opening fire at the dinner. Man, that's crazy. Mr. Trump told Fox News He hates Christians. That's one thing for sure. And I think his sister or his brother actually was complaining about it. So there must be some other stuff out there. Hey, thanks, Joel Burnt. Good show, Gray. Keep up the good work. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. Joel Burnt. Did I say Joe? I think I said Joel. Anyways, I meant to say Joel. Let's see. Yeah. It says, there were even complaining to law enforcement he was a very troubled guy. I apologize to everyone. According to U.S. partner network NBC News, the suspected shooter sent a note to a family member, or to family members, plural, before the shooting, apologizing to parents, colleagues, and bystanders for what he was about to do. He wrote, I apologize to everyone who suffered before I was able to attempt this, to all those who may still suffer after, regardless of my success or failure. Yeah, so who are you talking about? Who's suffering? You mean the people... Okay, I hope you're not talking about it like the illegal alien issue, right? What about the people that illegal aliens kill? You know, so here's the truth that nobody wants to say. So even if it's, you know, possible or true that the crime rate in the illegal alien population, let's just pretend for a moment that it's true that the rate is less than the actual population of legal residents of the United States. What difference does that make? That doesn't mean anything. Because the truth is that every single murder, assault, attack, etc. that happens by an illegal alien is one that should have never happened. It should never have been here. They shouldn't have been here to have committed it. That's the whole point. It doesn't matter if the rate's lower. It doesn't have anything to do with anything. I'm just saying if that's even true, right? So the thing is those are things that never should have happened. So when you have these individuals out there that have been, you know, sexually assaulted and killed, etc., by these illegal aliens, every one of those was preventable. You know, I've actually had, you know what I heard somebody say one time? They said, "Oh, they still would have been attacked by somebody else." What are you talking? Are you kidding me? So that same person would have been attacked by a citizen. That was just their day that the illegal... Jesus, you guys are sick. And so again, I just told you a truth, right? That is a truth. Every single one of them, right, is that is here illegally, that commits any crime of any kind, is one that never would have happened. Do you get it? Gosh, Gray, I'm leaving. I didn't come here to listen to politics. That's not even politics. It's just common sense, for God's sakes. Don't you get it? I get it. It sucks for some of them. They came here hoping for this and this and the other thing. And it sucks. But I feel worse for America, you know, the citizens of the United States who are taken advantage of in terms of all the money that's given out to illegal aliens. I feel bad for the citizens who've been murdered and killed and assaulted and attacked, etc. first, before any of their feelings. Okay? Now, I do want to, you know, let's get rid of known criminals. Any single one of them who's committed a crime, you know, other than breaking into the country, they're first. All right? Then we work through the rest of them. It just seems like that makes sense. I just don't understand. It's not fair for the people who did it the right way. There's just so many problems with it. You know, you don't know who the hell's here. It's just people poured over the border. Nobody knows. And that's probably who he's talking about. For those who've suffered. Who are you talking about? Who suffered? Jesus. It's safer. It's crazy. All right, guys. I need your guys' support. We're still, right now, we're at 1/10 of a nightly goal, even after I've explained it 15 different times already. If you guys have any ability at all to buy channel memberships, we needed to get a challenge going of some sort. We haven't had one of those yet tonight, and that's why we're just languishing. You guys know what we do here at the end of the month. It's coming up, and I rely on you guys to keep us going here. Is there anybody in there that disagrees with what I... Oh, Jesus. Here's Elena again. Oh, boy. Hey, thanks, Wild Bill Wassman. Let's see. Thank you. According to her, let's see. He wrote, I apologize, everyone. He added that he may have given a lot of people a surprise today, and although he did not name Mr. Trump directly in the writings, he did criticize him and mention targeting the administration. Administration officials were targets, the message adds, along with Secret Service agents only if necessary and to be incapacitated non-lethally if possible. He added, so that is accurate what I had there. He added, hotel guests and employees were not targets at all, with Capitol Police, National Guard, and hotel security not targets unless they shoot me. Alan's brother had made police aware of the writings after they were sent to family members. A senior administration official told NBC News. All right, so he turned in the writings. According to the official, there was anti-Trump sentiment, and the suspected gunman had described his targets as administration officials, not guests or hotel employees. The official said he had apologized to family and friends in writing and says he does not expect forgiveness. Alan's sister described him to law enforcement as having a tendency towards making radical comments. He would also constantly reference a plan to fix issues that the world fix issues with the world, the official added. She told investigators Alan had purchased 2 handguns and a shotgun, but that her parents were unaware. Let's see. Alan, she told her, okay, that's the sister. Her parents were unaware he was keeping weapons inside their home. Well, how did she know that then? I mean, is that something they found out later? All right, who's going to do a challenge out there? The suspect had also referred to himself as a friendly federal assassin in writings, a source told the news agency. Police believe the suspect was a guest at the Washington Hilton Hotel. So he was actually staying at this hotel where the correspondence' dinner was being held. And somebody made a good point on Fox News. I mean, the day of this event, that hotel is packed. So you'd have to have called in way before, I think, unless there was, he just happened to get lucky and a room opened up or something. We do believe he was a guest here at the hotel. We have secured a room here in the hotel, and again, we will go through the appropriate procedures to determine what was inside there. U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro has... What phrase are you talking about, Lynn? But hey, guys, I'm going to have to ask again. If you guys are out there, if you could please help support the channel, I would appreciate it. U.S. Attorney Janine Pirro has confirmed the suspect has been charged with firearm and assault charges. Saturday evening was the first time that Mr. Trump had attended the correspondent dinner as president. He was the subject of 2 assassination attempts in 2024 after he left the White House again in 2021. After he left the White House in 2021 and while he was campaigning for election. He also had somebody back in his first one that ran up on stage, I think. I can't remember if he had a knife or something like that. The most serious occurred while Mr. Trump was campaigning at an outdoor rally in Butler. Mr. Trump was shot and wounded in his upper ear by a 20-year-old gunman. The gunman was shot dead by security personnel. The site of Saturday's dinner, the Washington Hilton, was the scene of an attempt on the life of then-President Ronald Reagan. Oh, weird. I didn't really know that. So that was outside. He was shot and wounded by a would-be assassin outside the hotel in 1981. Huh. That's sort of interesting, isn't it? I was outside and when Reagan got shot. All right, who's going to do a challenge out there, you guys? The manifesto for alleged White House Correspondents' Dinner gunman Cole Allen has been released. The manifesto. And, you know, I guess we can read it again if you guys want. Here's the manifesto in part. So when you say in part, so there must have been more that we haven't seen yet. So I may, if anybody knows where the full one is, I have, you know, this one right here. You know, it looks like that, but it kind of seems like it would continue on. There's no ending here. So if you have the full one, and it's not just like 2 pages, let me know. Hope you feel better there, Karen. Anyways, any chance you guys could help support the channel tonight for the 900th time? We currently are at 1/10. I don't know what that means. Hey, Lori. Jesus. Do we have to be freaks if we're watching here? I don't care for that word. You know what, though? How about you watch somewhere else? All right? Thanks. I mean, who the hell would even come into a show and say something that stupid? I mean, that's just unreal. Let's see. Hello, everybody. So I may have given a lot of people a surprise today. Let me start off by apologizing to everyone whose trust I abused. On to why I did any of this. I'm a citizen of the United States of America. What my representatives do reflect on me. Hey, look at that. Joel Burnt said he'll send in $40 in Super Chat if 5 of you guys just gift 1 membership. Thanks, Joel Burnt. That might get us around 33%. Hey, thank you. I'll see you later. I'll see you later on. I like that one. I always have to re-say it again, then I get it. I'll see you later on. I think it must be the rabbit. All right, guys, we need gifted memberships. We have a challenge up on the board there. He mocked Secret Service for being incompetent and for poor security. Huh. I don't know. See, that's weird. That's not in the part that I have. I am a citizen of the United States of America. What my representatives do to reflect on me. What my representatives do to reflect on me. And I'm no longer willing to permit pedophile, traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. Administration officials, not including Mr. Patel, they are targets. Did you guys see the challenge up there? Man, I figured that would be something you guys could jump on so we can get the support here that the channel needs for the end of the month coming up. Administration officials, not including Mr. Patel, they are targets Prioritize from highest to ranking lowest. It didn't seem like he went through a list, though. Up to wearing body armor. Rebuttals to objections. Objection 1. See, this is a part that we didn't have. As a Christian, you should turn the other cheek. Rebuttal. Turning the other cheek is for when you yourself are oppressed. I'm not the person assaulted in a detention camp. I'm not the fisherman executed without trial. Oh, you mean the ones out? Man, you actually care about that shit? Wow. Hey, thanks Jim Lawn and Wild Bill Wassman and Susan Smith, not the Susan Smith, okay? Does anybody care at all? Those aren't fishermen, you idiot. They knew exactly who these people were. They were drug-running boats, okay? And they were blown up. I'm not a school kid blown up or a child starved or a teenage girl abused by the many criminals in this administration. You are such an idiot, man. What are these people are brainwashed, you know? And it sounds like, you know, those are sort of the Candace Owens types of the world. You know, it's like they don't remember the fact that, like, Iran, for example, has funded just, almost all the terrorism around the world. They fund it and give them the weapons to do it. So I think they did it, right? Did somebody reach the goal there? Hey, thanks, Joel Burnt, man. Look at that. That would have been a... Da-na-na. Here, let me play it. Hold on. Okay, I know it's the other one, but I don't have the sound effect for that. So we'll have to play this one. All right. Here we go, here we go. All right. We'll just say it's a cat eye. It's close enough. All right. There we go. Thank you. Thanks a lot there, Joel Burnt. Very kind. And thanks everybody else there who may reach the challenge there. Very cool. So this is all different stuff that we didn't see. All right. So this is, I think this is more, I guess let's just go through this better. Gunman Cole Allen was released. Okay, rebuttal to objections. As a Christian, you should turn the other cheek. Rebuttal. Turning the other cheek is for when you yourself are oppressed. I'm not the person assaulted in a detention camp. Okay, so how is this related to this administration? I'm not the fisherman executed without trial. You mean the people running drugs into, eventually getting into our country that have killed over, hundreds of thousands of people? Yeah, sure. Okay. I'm not the fisherman executed without trial. I'm not a school kid blown up or a child. Okay, so you're talking about apparently a school in Iran that was in between a bunch of other targets that was hit. Yeah, it's not a good thing. But, sometimes in war, crap happens that you don't like. It's just, we go out of our way not to target civilians. Iran, that's all they do. So hopefully you're talking about Iran, how they just fire weapons indiscriminately at buildings and various places. Thank you all for everything. Sincerely. Cole, Cold Force, Friendly Federal Assassin Allen. Jeez, that's almost like Crystal, a.k.a. Beaver Gaming Sub Crystal. Remember her? Yeah, look at that name. That's just about as long as that one. Cole, Cold Force, Friendly Federal Assassin Allen. P.S. Okay, now that all the sappy stuff is done, What the hell is the Secret Service doing? Sorry, gonna rant a little bit here and drop the formal tone. Like I expected security cameras at every bend. Bugged hotel rooms. I mean, a lot of people have been saying how the security really wasn't that great. They responded well, but sorry, gonna rant a bit here and drop the formal tone. Like I expected security cameras at every bend, bugged hotel rooms, armed agents every 10 feet, metal detectors out the wazoo. What I got, who knows? Maybe they're pranking me. Is nothing. No damn security. Not in transport. Not in the hotel. Not in the event. Like the one thing that I immediately noticed walking into the hotel is the sense of arrogance. I walk in with multiple weapons and not a single person there considers the possibility that I could be a threat. Well, you didn't walk in with multiple weapons in your hands sticking out. The security at the event is also all outside, focused on protesters and current arrivals, because apparently no one thought about what happens if someone checks in the day before. Yeah, is there more to this? Or anybody know where the full one? If you guys know where the entire manifesto is, send it to me on my email. All right, here's my email right here. I'm kind of interested in reading the whole, because that's obviously has different elements even than what we read earlier. Right, let me type it in here. Cole, that's not where it is. Yeah, Cole Allen manifest full. Yeah, and so here's a let me play this.
Wheelchair brakes tend to lock the wheels, but don't actually lock the chair.
See, there's something. He seems a little off, you know. Don't you think a little bit, just the way he is?
College student Cole Allen developed a prototype for a wheelchair emergency brake.
The wheelchair brakes tend to lock the wheels, but don't actually lock the chair to the ground. The idea with this is to prevent it from moving at all.
Recent Aging into the Future conference held by St. Barnabas Senior Services and the Eisner Foundation offered potential to 15 different text 3 into some share emergency brake.
The wheelchair brakes tend to lock the wheels, but don't actually lock the chair to the ground. The idea with this is to...
One of his neighbors said he thought he was on the spectrum. I could see thinking that. What do you mean, Gray? That's bullcrap when you have it. Oh, God. Every single time. You know, the problem is you can't have a conversation about, if you ever mention that somebody might be autistic or something, people that have autistic kids or a friend or whatever, they get so angry. Instead of just letting, having a conversation about it. Who knows, man? You know, a lot of people with Asperger's, not a lot of them, but a lot of the... how about this? There's been quite a few events where somebody with Asperger's has killed, people in a mass shooting. All right? Now, I mean, I think Elliot Rodgers had that. So did Adam Lanza. And I wouldn't be surprised at some other ones. I think Brian Koberger, for example, is on the spectrum somewhere. Don't you guys agree with that? There's something, in there. He's not like this normal, he's a psycho too, but I think he was like a psychopath who was autistic. There's rare combinations of that. Yeah, and so I don't think it's like bad to discuss that. I'm not an expert on autism or anything like that. I'm just saying, sometimes there's a lack of empathy, and sometimes they know what right and wrong is. They do, but it doesn't make them feel bad to not do the thing that they know is right and wrong. Right? See, that's the thing. I mean, I always tell this story. I dated this one girl, and she had an autistic kid. You know, it was cool. You know, but you play a video game, and if he lost, he'd just freak out. Like he would bounce around and just get so angry or something. And then I remember one time I caught a fish, like a little 6-inch trout. You know, we were just fishing, and I go, hey, want to hold it? And he put it in his hand. He squeezed it to death. Like, just put it in his hand, and it went, and just killed it. And I just thought that was weird. I mean, who would even think of doing that, you know? But that's what he did. So you know, at that point I was like, yeah, I wasn't really sure I wanted to be around that too much. It was just very kind of creepy. You might think it ends abruptly. I just read a whole bunch of different stuff that wasn't in the part that I already had. So if anybody out there has the full manifesto, let me know. Is this? Oh wait, this is bigger. Oh yeah, that's way bigger. Hold on. Oh yeah, jeez. Is there more? Yeah, see, that doesn't even have it all. That's what I'm saying. This thing is huge. Hold on, let me save this out. Yeah, that's way bigger than the other one. Now, if it does, and it just doesn't think, you know, can't really recommend it. Stay in school, kids. Does it end like that? All right, guys, we got to about 50% of the, not even there, about 40% of the goal. So if you guys out there have the ability to help support the channel, we just hit a massive lull after we got that support, but we need other people to, you know, maybe do, I don't know. We're going to need like probably 3 more challenges to get there. All right, so is this the original one? See how short that one is? That's not even close to the one I just read. All right, let's go let's look at the one I just got. And we were probably the first place out there that was doing live streaming that had his house right here on the screen. Like, as soon as his name came out, I looked him up on Ben Verified, and there it was. And then we found flight radar and then eventually helicopters got there. But this is where he lived. This is 2016. His parents may have lived there. This shot is 2021. So he just lived in this little neighborhood out in California. In Torrance, California. Yeah, he got there by train. And so I think he took train so that he could bring all of his weapons with him. And then he just gets off the train, goes to the hotel, and he just goes in there and he has his weapons in there. You know? It's probably similar to the guy at Mandolin Bay or whatever the hell that... Remember that shooting in Las Vegas? Something like that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, I can do all... I mean, I don't know what it is, man. I'm pretty good with Google Earth, and I'm really good at finding... If you gave me a house and a background image, I could probably find where the house was with no other information. Yeah. I've had some really crazy finds. Even in the Kylie Rodney case. Remember that? Let me just throw that up on the screen really quick. I think she's in here. It's also possible... Oh, there it is. Yeah, right here. Yeah, let me show you how this one worked. This one was pretty crazy. Not the Not even the cool part. Yeah, I think it was... yeah, turn whatever that is off. Oh yeah, so it was right here. The car was in the water right here. And what they had was these images out there. And they just had a little bit, like they showed a buoy floating in the water and a mountain range. And I was able to come in and do the peaks back there and line it all up. You know, you could tell because of how much of the upper mountain range, if you just keep moving it like this, you can go, oh, look. And then up here had a certain look to it. And then I realized that it was right in the water right here. And then amazingly, there was this fire camera way over here that filmed at nighttime, cars driving around. And then what I did was I took the daylight shot and I overlaid it of the surveillance they had at nighttime of all the cars moving around. And then you could see exactly where it was. You can see this point right here and everything because I put the daylight shot over the top. And then you can see the lights through it of cars. And one of the cars went out into the water right here. And then you watch the light dim as it was sinking. And that's exactly where she was. That was crazy. You know, just shut the hell up on all the conspiracy theorists right at that moment. But they kept trying to figure out a way to keep something going there, but didn't work. Yeah. But hey guys, we just got another massive lull in here. So if you're out there, if somebody could do a challenge or something like that, that'd be great. Our donation night is coming up here in 4 days. We've already given 1,000 out so far, and we're just trying to have it's already really not a great month. Okay, so if you guys could help support the channel, that would be great. It doesn't seem like when I say anything it matters, so if one of you guys can do like a challenge, that would be great. Alright, let's see. There it is. Yeah, so this guy, he worked over here at the C2 Center. He worked right there in this facility here as like a tutor. And then I think he used to live, let's see, where the hell is this house? Oh, it's over here, I think. No, there's another home. There's other cases in the area. Right there. It's not 3D there, but here we go. Where do we get these dumb trolls that show up in here? They're so stupid. Oh my god. Yeah, go ahead and watch that idiot, Rusty. You're just as dumb as he is. He's one of the dumbest YouTubers in the history of YouTube. Can't work through a shoebox, work his way out of a shoebox, and you act like he knows what he's talking about. He's an absolute idiot. Okay. All right. Let's see. So we got that one. Let's go read the... Let's see. I want to read the full one. I think it's right there, maybe? Got this one. Okay, we got a joke challenge by Jim Lawn. Just put in a joke, you guys. Something. It's brutal, you guys. It's just, every night it's the same. Just struggle, struggle, struggle. So I may have given a lot of people a surprise today. Let me start off by apologizing to everyone whose trust I abused. I apologize to my parents for saying I had an interview without specifying it was for Most Wanted. Apologize to my colleagues and students for saying I had a personal emergency. By the time anyone reads this, I probably most certainly do need to go to the ER, but can hardly call that non-urgent I can hardly call that not a self-inflicted status. Okay, so that means it is self-inflicted because he was running, got shot by Secret Service or something. Jeez. Ellen, you tell a joke. You seem like you're almost intentionally disruptive. It's you tell a joke. That's it. I don't know, but like I said, a few minutes ago we had a pretty good run, and then it's just absolutely died right after that. So the only way to reach the goals is if people are supporting the channel. That's about it. And people go, "Oh, Gray, you're always," this is what I'm relegated to, you guys. My channel, in case you're not aware, the trolls never tell you this shit. Like Rusty the dipshit up there, he never tells people that. My channel's donated $293,000. Okay, so that's insane. I mean, that is a ton of money since January of 2020, and we have a scholarship fund where we've given out. So far, we've given out $18,000 in scholarships. The other $6,000 is already in the process of people applying for it. And that'll be given out, so that'll be $24,000, and now we're starting to build up another one. So these 3 students get $2,000 every time we do this one. Then we have a DNA fund where we've put like $115,000 in over the years for identifying Jane and John Does out there. Now the only way to make that happen is if people are helping support the channel with, I get ad, right now there's no ad revenue coming in. So ad revenue, memberships, super chats, etc. So I need your guys' support when I do these shows. And I'm not saying this so it falls on your deaf ears and you guys talk about something else and blah, 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 blah. I need your guys' support when I do the shows. Okay? Thank you. Jesus. I apologize to everyone who was abused and or murdered before this, all of those who suffered before I was able to attempt this, to all who may still suffer regardless of my success or failure. I don't expect forgiveness, but I could have seen, but if I could have seen another way to get this close, I would have taken it. Again, my sincere apologies. So he thinks the only way he can get close is at this event by being somebody staying at the hotel. No. What does that mean? A donation's about 1 million. What do you mean? No, it's not a million. It's 293,000. Yeah, send in a super chat. Spot on, Aces. That's how you do it. Yeah, go ahead. We're all waiting for you, man. Yeah, it wasn't a joke. I read it. That's how you think. Let's see. All right, so Cheryl Bullock told a joke. All right, here we go. It said, "How do you hide a $20 bill from a surgeon?" You tape it to their kid's forehead. How do you hide a $20 bill from a surgeon? Is it tail or take? What are you saying here? Rusty the... That's the name of your hamster? Alright. Let's see. You tape it to their kid's forehead. Let's see. I've got to try to get this one. How do you hide a $20 bill from a surgeon? You tape it to their kid's forehead. I don't get it. Oh well. It's probably... I don't get the joke, Like, let's see. You tape it to their forehead. Why wouldn't they see it on their forehead? I don't get it. Oh, because that's not where they're doing surgery or something? Or I don't know. Oh, they never see their kids. Oh, okay. I get it. I don't see the joke. I see. They're always working. Man, that takes a lot of extra thinking on that one. They never see their kids. I think it'd be better if you... Okay, I see. Like, it's on their forehead, and they never see it. And that's because if it sticks out like a sore thumb, but it's still hiding it from them because they never see them. You know, I guess that one took a little extra thinking. And then we had Lisa. I don't see one from Lisa in here. And it's not really doing anything, so I'm just wasting my time. All right, let's see. I'm a citizen of the United States of America. What my representatives do reflect on me. I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, assaulter, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. Well, to be completely honest, I was no longer willing a long time ago, but this is the first real opportunity I've had to do something about it. While I'm discussing this, I'll also go over my expected rules of engagement. Probably a terrible format, but I'm not military, so too bad. Administration officials, not including Mr. Patel, they are targets prioritized from highest ranking to lowest Secret Service. Hey, thanks up there, Spot On Aces. Thanks for the support there. Oh, that's right, you were just a troll. Never mind. All right, let's see. Okay, Songbird told a joke. Why did the mechanic sing while he worked? He was giving a tune-up. Jesus. Oh boy. You just type it in, Elena. Can you see them on the screen, Elena? They're just right there on the screen. Hey, thanks, Jim Lawn. But again, you guys, we are just getting crushed in here again. We're not even at 50% of the goal. We need some challenges going. Administration officials, not including Mr. Patel, they are targets prioritized from highest ranking to lowest. Secret Service, they are targets only if necessary and to be incapacitated non-lethally if possible. AKA, I hope they're wearing body armor because center mass with shotgun messes up people who aren't. Hotel security, I mean, what's weird about that is I wonder what his charge will be now, because in this, it was written beforehand, it's almost like he's saying that he's going to shoot him center mass, assuming they have on body armor, and that seems to be exactly what he did with the one person. So would that be attempted homicide or just, you know, I'm not sure what you call that. What are we looking at? Secret Service, they are targets only if necessary and to be incapacitated non-lethally if possible. Wearing body armor because center mass with shotguns messes up people who aren't. Hotel security, not targets if at all possible, aka unless they shoot at me. Capitol Police, same as hotel security. National Guard, same as hotel security. Hotel employees, not targets at all. guests, not targets at all. In order to minimize casualties, I will also be using buckshot rather than slugs. Less penetration through walls. I would still go through most everyone here to get to the targets if were absolutely necessary, on the basis that most people chose to attend a speech by a pedophile, offender, sexual assaulter, and traitor, and are thus complicit. But I really hope it doesn't come to that. So we did that one. Alright, okay, I think this might have been the next one. Alright, is anybody hearing what I'm saying? We need to get the support for the channel up. Since that long time ago we had the cat eye donation, there's been $2 in here, and that's just not going to get us there. Rebuttal to objections. Objection 1. As a Christian, you should turn the other cheek. Rebuttal. Turning the other cheek is for when yourself are oppressed. I'm not the person assaulted in a detention camp. I'm not the fisherman executed without a trial. I'm not a school kid blown up, or a child starved, or a teenage girl abused by many criminals in this administration. Jeez. Turning the other cheek. When someone else is oppressed, when someone else is oppressed, it's not Christian behavior. It is complicity in the oppressor's crimes. Objection 2. This is not a convenient time for you to do this. Rebuttal. I need whoever thinks this way to take a couple of minutes and realize that the world isn't about them. Do you think that when I see someone assaulted or murdered or abused, I should walk on by because it would be inconvenient for people who aren't the victim? This was the best timing, and this is sort of the way that Elliot Rodgers wrote, kind of this long draw, like this explanation of how they think. This was the best timing and chance of success, and it's all like logically, it's all logical, like in their mind. This was the best timing and chance of success I could come up with. You didn't get them all. That's the objection. Rebuttal. Got to start somewhere. Objection. As a half black, half white person, you shouldn't be the one doing this. Rebuttal. I don't see anyone else picking up the slack. Objection. Yield and tell Caesar what is Caesar's. Rebuttal. The United States of America are ruled by the law, not by any one or several people. Insofar representatives and judges do not follow the law, no one is required to yield them anything so unlawfully ordered. I would also like to extend my appreciation to a great many people, since I will not be likely to be able to talk with them again unless the Secret Service is astoundingly incompetent. Almost like you wanted them to take him out. Or you got lucky. Yeah. Okay. Thank you to my family, both personal and church, for your love over these 31 years. Thank you to my friends for your companionship over many years. Thank you to my colleagues over many jobs for your positivity and professionalism. Thank you to my students for your enthusiasm and love of learning. Thank you to the many acquaintances I've met in person and online for short interactions and long-term relationships, for your perspectives and inspiration. Thank you all for everything. Sincerely. Oh, so that was the end of it. So what was this part here? Okay, this must be after that. So it says, Sincerely, cold force. Yeah, let me go look something up. Hold on. So we're just not going to make the goal tonight, I guess. I mean, this is just, man. I don't think I could make better pitches, and we've had $2 since I said that. His name is Cold Force. Let me see if I can. Cold Force. Let's see if that's a name. I'm doing a search on this site today. Man, I guess that's out there a lot. Red Bubble Speaker. That's kind of, might be a common name. There's a lot of them. It's hard to know which one is which. Friendly Federal, maybe that one. So none of those were good for you, Jim? Let's see if that's in there. Friendly Federal Assassin. Man, say Friendly Federal Assassin twice. 3 times fast. No way. Doesn't show up. Okay, so the PS part is, okay, now that all this sappy stuff is done, what the hell is the Secret Service doing? Sorry, gonna rant a bit here and drop the formal tone. Like I expected, security camera, like I expected security cameras at every bend, bugged hotel rooms, armed agents every 10 feet, metal detectors out the wazoo. What I got, who knows, maybe they're pranking me, is nothing. No damn security, not in transport, not in the hotel, not in the event. Like the one thing that I immediately noticed walking into the hotel is the sense of arrogance. I walk in with multiple weapons, and not a single person there considers the possibility that I could be a threat. The security at the event is also outside, focus on protesters and current arrivals, because apparently no one thought about what happens if someone checks in the day before. Like, this level of incompetence is insane, and I very sincerely hope, I mean, this guy probably feels just like Tyler Robinson felt like. Like, man, this is easy. Except not at the point of attack. He could easily get in the hotel, though. Hey, thanks, Jim Lawn. Man, that was like an ocean of no support for so long. Like an hour. Unbelievable. I experienced rage thinking about everything this administration has done. Oh, it's up here, it said. Like, this level of incompetence is insane. And I very sincerely hope it's corrected by the time this country gets actually competent leader again. Wow, so you're just happy you were able to exploit it, but you don't want your guy. Like, if I was an Iranian agent instead of an American citizen, I could have brought a damn Mado in here, whatever that is. or something Medusa, maybe it's a weapon, in here, and no one would have noticed shit. It's actually insane. Oh, and if anyone is curious, is how doing something like feels is, it's awful. I want to throw up. I want to cry for all the things I wanted to do and never will, for all the people who trust this betrays. I experience rage thinking about everything this administration has done. These people are nuts, you know, but it's not unusual. People that have Trump derangement syndrome, they feel rage every single day because there's something wrong with their brains. It's okay not to like somebody, but the people with Trump derangement syndrome it's overboard. Their ability to think rationally has disappeared. And that's a fact. Oh, and if anyone is curious, oh yeah, this is, can't really recommend it. Stay in school, kids. There you go. All right, how do we get another challenge going, you guys? Suspect in White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting wrote of targeting Trump.
Developments here, and these questions around security. We now understand that this suspect was likely targeting various members of the Trump administration, including the president himself, according to that attacker's own writings. Was likely targeting various members. We're rolling that video here. Suspect's going to come running through. You see him on the left side of your screen. We now understand that this suspect was likely targeting various members of the Trump
president's mind for of initial security, because guests at this dinner had to sort of flash their tickets in order to get to the point where the suspect was apprehended. And at that point, there were actually security measures similar to what you would see at an airport or at a massive concert or sport.
All right, here's one. What does a Christmas ornament have in common with Jeffrey Epstein? Well, what's the answer? Something about... maybe it's something to do with hanging something. I don't know. Yeah, go ahead. What is it? Thanks, Sandy Shirley. I'm supposed to type the answer in with it, because the amount of time we have to wait for the punchlines, just a show killer. All right, anyways. Okay, it says the senior administration official said that Alan's brother contacted the New London Police Department. They didn't hang themselves. See, I did have the right term in there. All right, what does a Christmas ornament have in common with Jeffrey Epstein? They don't hang themselves. Or they didn't hang themselves. Right. The department confirmed being contacted at around 10:49 p.m. Saturday, just over 2 hours after the shooting, by an individual who expressed concern about the incident that occurred at the White House Correspondents' Association dinner earlier in the evening. Police contacted federal law enforcement, and the caller was interviewed by authorities. Alan's sister told the Secret Service at Montgomery County Police after the shooting that her brother had a tendency to make radical statements and he'd referred to a plan to do something, in quotes, to fix the issue with today's world, the senior administration official said. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche told NBC News earlier today that law enforcement authorities believe he took a train from Los Angeles to Washington, D.C., stopped in Chicago. Blanche said on Meet the Press that authorities believe the suspect traveled by train from Los Angeles to Chicago and then Chicago to Washington, D.C., where he checked into the hotel where the correspondence dinner was at the last day or two. The suspect, who was not shot but was taken to a local hospital, is expected to be charged in federal court on Monday. In a press conference shortly after the attack, Trump called the suspected shooter a whack job and a lone wolf. Well, that's exactly what he turned out to be. You know, like, it's kind of obvious. They're almost always like that. Public records and interviews show that Allen was a trained engineer who once interned for NASA and participated in the Nerf Club and Christian Fellowship at his prestigious California University, before more recently developing video games and working as a part-time teacher. Allen attended Pacific Lutheran High School in Gardenia, California, where he was known for his inquisitiveness and intellect, a former volleyball teammate told NBC News. While he had not seen Allen recently, he remembered Allen as a borderline genius and super stable. Other people study hard, said the ex-teammate, who spoke on the condition of anonymity. Out of fear, it could affect his career. He didn't have to study. It would just come to him. He was really, really smart. Yeah, it sounds like one of those savant types, you know. All right, guys, if you have the ability to help support the channel, we're only at 50% of a goal. We're getting close to our donation night. It'd be this will be our 5th really bad day this month if we can't get there. Across the board, he was really knowledgeable, really curious, the ex-teammate said. The teammates said they lost touch with Allen once he went off to the California Institute of Technology, a private research university in Pasadena, California, but expressed surprise that he would be the suspect in Saturday's attack. He was probably the most gentle person on the team, which makes it even more shocking that he did this. He recently won the Teacher of the Month. According to his LinkedIn profile, Allen graduated from the California Institute of Technology, commonly known as Caltech, in 2017 with a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. While he was a Caltech student, Allen was a member of the winning group of the 31st Annual Mechanical Engineering 72nd Design Competition, which involved building robots that could play soccer. In 2016 competition, his 5-person group, Blitzkrieg Bots, competed against 4 other teams for the Cardioid Cup. Months later, Allen was featured in a local news report for developing a prototype emergency brake for wheelchairs. The wheelchair brakes tend to lock the wheels, but don't lock the chair to the ground, but with the device that will prevent the chair from skidding at all. After graduating from Caltech, Allen worked for a year as a mechanical engineer before becoming an independent video game developer and later also a part-time teacher. In December 2024, C2 Education named Allen its Teacher of the Year. The company they work for is dedicated to helping high schoolers get into college, according to the LinkedIn profile. Hey, what's the reason we're struggling so much tonight, you guys? What's going on? I don't know, man. It's crazy. Ballroom. Yeah, I don't know. It's not really. Swimmingly. All right, here's one for you, Jim. You haven't been matching the jokes that have been in here. It says, "Did you hear about the thief who stole a lamp? He got a very light sentence." Jesus. That's almost so ridiculously bad, it's worth something, you know? Yeah, that's okay, Richard. I'm just talking about in general. It just seems like it's just dead as a doornail in here. I mean, it's just, again, you know. Yesterday I even said, hey, how about tomorrow? We have one night where, and then here we are. You know. In December of 2024, C2 Education named him Teacher of the Year month. The same year, Allen donated $25 to Act Blue, with the memo earmarked for Harris for President, according to Federal Election Commission filings. In the donation, he listed the occupation as teacher for C2 Education. We were shocked to hear the news of the horrifying incident that transpired at the White House correspondent dinner, C2 Education said in a statement. We are cooperating fully with law enforcement to assist. See, I don't think there's any, like, this is just the same shit, you know? It's another lone wolf wacko. There's no, you know, like, people want it to be a conspiracy. It's more interesting. You're probably not going to be interested because I'm not going to pretend it's a conspiracy for views. He's soft-spoken, very polite, a good fellow, he said. Outside the classroom, according to his LinkedIn, Allen participated in Caltech Christian Fellowship. Dylan Wakayama, president of the Asian American Civic Trust, told NBC News that Allen tutored one student who volunteers at his Torrance-based nonprofit, as well as the sibling of another. They described him as someone who was very intelligent. The student who received tutoring from Allen told Wakayama that she had met him at as recently as April 14th, and there was no signs of anything was amiss. It's been that recent, she texted Wakayama Saturday night. According to him, bio, math, English, science, literally everything. He's so smart, she added in the text, according to Wakayama. According to LinkedIn, Allen began working as a self-employed, I think we did that, kept gun hidden from his family. Paul Thompson, one of Allen's neighbors, said Allen lived with his parents and rode a blue moped around the area. He said Allen was not necessarily friendly, but he hadn't noticed anything off about him. He added that Allen's parents are nice, friendly people, and the father especially knows everything. Let's see. Forget it. Anyways, I don't have any more to add to that. You guys aren't interested. So let's see. I've been working on this video. I got that another part sort of finished here. I'll play some of that. Let's see. All right, this part right here. This is my last part here. This is the final pass by Tyler Robinson. This is the moment that he's going to be going to the Losi Center building. Here is him walking. See that fence over there, that white fence? There he is. Now we see him walking. And there he is. Got a clock at the top. Notice how it matches really well with the clock at the bottom down there. Yeah, if you guys could please help support the channel, that would be great. We're trying to reach goals. And this is like I switched to his view, you know, so you can look down there. There's a fence at the end there. So there's the clock. This is from Tyler Robinson's point of view. And thank you, Lisa Valenzuela, for the coffee. Jeez, what a brutal night again. Yeah, thanks to Wild Bill Wassman, Cheryl Bullock, Gloria Batari, Laura's Weehart or something, Stephen Connerly, Joel Burnt, Wild Bill Wassman, Althea later on, Jim Lawn, Wild Bill Wassman, Susan Smith, Gifted 5, Joel Burnt. So thanks, Joel Burnt. You made up about 50%. And then Jim Lawn, Sandy Shirley. I mean, just a horrendous night again. You know, it's like, it doesn't seem like anybody really gives a damn either. They just, you say it and they go, yeah. You know, very, very disheartening. So anyways, on the camera coming up here, see the fuchsia plants right there? This is where Tyler Robinson is walking in the video wearing all dark. When he gets near the end of these fuchsia plants, the surveillance camera on this house over here picks him up. So right when he gets to about where the cement is. There it is, there it is. And you see him limping over there. So that's what he was looking at while he was walking. And this is I timed this out perfectly. Not only because I walked it, I also timed it with something else. Hey, thanks Tracy Von Brott. Thank you. Been a bad one tonight. Really struggling. We're only at 50% and it's just not getting better. Alright. So there's 1150. And I think they say at 1150 and some odd, you know, like 1150 he goes onto the grass. So they don't take the seconds. So now, right now, boom, there he is. He's walking next to that flower bed. And if you look at the clock there, he reaches the grass area, still in the 1150. See right there, at approximately 1150 hours. A UV surveillance camera first captured Robinson walking across a grassy area. So there he is. He's right there. You know, he turns around a little bit, but right when he first got there, it was in the 1150 time frame. And then he walks down just like this. It's okay, Richard Watts. I don't know what makes it different from one night to the next. You know, it's just is what it is. It's crazy. It's so disheartening knowing you're coming into the end of the month. It's man, just so. Maybe next month will be better. Who knows? So imagine he's got a rifle in his pants, so he's going to want to choose this easy walk down here. There's no steps or anything. And then he makes his way into the parking area. And nobody's commenting either. That's when you know the show's dead. You know, you got like 2 people even talking at all, and it's just somebody makes a comment, and then 10 minutes later there's another comment. It's like, Jesus. Robinson walks south through the parking lot and approaches a pedestrian tunnel that runs underneath Campus Drive. Robinson pauses briefly before entering the tunnel. Before entering the tunnel, Robinson pauses at the top of the stairs and pulls out what appears to be a cell phone from his right pocket using his right hand at approximately 11:53. Look what time it is up here. Boom. Right when he got to that spot. Then I have a sort of a, and I speed up the time, 500% speed. I think he's on the phone for about 4.5 minutes texting. It's definitely way over like 2 minutes. It's like 2, 3, 4 minutes. So he's sitting here and he's texting, and it says Robinson appears to be manipulating the cell phone device with his hands, possibly texting. I didn't read it when it was up there, but. And then he's going to go down the stairs here. Let me rewind it a little bit. So right when he gets to here, at 11:53 hours. Robinson appears to be manipulating the cell phone device with his hands, possibly texting. Robinson eventually puts what appears to be a cell phone back in his right pant pocket using his right hand. Robinson walks down the stairs and noticeably keeps his right leg mostly straight while walking down the stairs into the tunnel. And so he's just sitting up here texting, you know. I think it's like 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes. Kind of had to move down another stair. And then there's the real picture of him. Notice how I lined everything up with the stairs. He's right there. He's coming down. And, you know, this is right here. And then he walks into the tunnel. And it says Robinson walks through the tunnel and into the parking garage area. Robinson walks up the stairs to the second level of the parking garage. While walking up the stairs, I might have to change some of the... While walking up in the parking garage, Robinson continues to keep his right leg straight. So they can see him in here walking with his legs straight, etc. And then it's going to be kind of like this coming up. So there it is. Like, that's where he was walking right there. See how that's lined up? So it's just like this, coming around the corner. And then up these stairs. That's me at the bottom down there. But look how perfectly those photos lined up with my image. And he comes out, goes like this. And then I have him basically at 12:02. He comes out by the Losi Center building. I just wonder what he did when he was inside the Losi Center building. But hey guys, if you have the ability to help support the channel, we're only at 50% of the nightly goal. So if you guys, you know, like I said before, nobody did a challenge. You know, we did one challenge tonight. And, you know, we're just so far behind. Which one, Liam? This guy? Tyler Robinson? Or... I mean, all of these guys are the same, right? Every one of them. Thomas Crooks. The Mar-a-Lago guy who's a little bit older. That guy was even kind of weird, too. And then we have Tyler Robinson. Now we have this guy. Cole Allen. Another crazy person. Yeah, he just kind of blended right in, Tyler Robinson. You know, backpack. You know, sure he was limping, but it looked like everybody else. And it's almost exactly the right time. That's why I think it was like 4 minutes. Because you have to make the walking about 80% speed because he's limping. And here's 12:02. And right around this time, the camera up here films him enter the area. But anyways. Alright guys, well thanks for being here tonight. Appreciate it. I'm going to get going. Thanks for those who did help support the channel tonight. Not sure what the deal was, but I appreciate it. And we're just limping into the end of the month. Thanks, everybody.